Jai Gurudev. Vinodji, I have again caught you during your snack time.
Welcome, welcome.
So, your last video was watched by over 1,500 people in one day.
What's the question?
So, there are many questions. So, first question is uh, if inevitability is dominant domain, then why so many humans attempt to dominate and enforce order, policy, procedure? What aspect is causing this behavior? This question is by Amog.
See, every creature is striving to dominate another creature. This is the construct of the structure, the construct of the structure of this world. Diversity of is that people or even creature wants to dominate. But then I'm not telling inevitability is dominant. I'm telling it is woven through. It is interwoven to the other side, which is of priority, protocol, procedure, process, principles of living. So when you're founding your behavior on the positions, price, payment, policy alone, be also known to you that it is the undercurrent, it is interlaced, interspersed, interwoven into it is inevitability. So, but then on one side, the dominance is what drives any creature in the world. They want to dominate. But the wisdom says that how to arrive at equanimity. So equanimity requires that you discover inevitability also, along with your other desires, the other framework, the other confines.
Okay. Next.
Please.
Pratt is asking, Einstein had said that God does not play dice. So in all probability,
God does not
play dice.
Play dice.
So in all probability, the non-set is just a myth.
Yeah. So Einstein also did not discover the totality. If he did, he would not be the cause of the severe damage to two cities with the discovery of the explosive. And now that itself is a breach. So is the discoverers breaching a law at all? Or when you're getting contracted into something, is there a breach of any kind of law and regulation of earth? And if there is, if anyway you are subjecting yourself to be the breacher by inventing an explosive, then do you have the authority to confine others to your contract and tell the others that they should not breach? Because now the last 250 years, we have breached most of the law of nature with reference to pollution, with reference to use of fresh drinking clean water, with the reference to how we behave with the animals. So we are breaching many rules, and then we want no one to breach our contract. So Einstein, perhaps he should have done more meditations to arrive at some completeness and totality of understanding of whom he considered as supreme.
Okay. Next question.
Please.
A.V. Raghunandhan ji is asking, very incisive and well articulated insight on coexistence of invisible yet definitive inevitability and man's obsessive pursuit of planning for supposed certainty. But how to put this in collective forums, say corporates, where huge sums and efforts are put in to make these things certain, but inevitability keeps on giving surprises.
Yes, well, that is a universal statement that I am attempting to inform to you. Now, how to do it? Follow some one sentence of Mahatma Gandhi: be the change that you want to see in other people. You can be the change. You can enforce wisdom of the mind, and therefore, when people are inspired, you can become the inspiration for others, and they would also want to enforce wisdom of the mind within their minds. Enroll them, enlist them to next program of breath and meditation workshop of His Holiness Puja Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. That enforcing the wisdom that's contained in that has brought a lot of transformation and metamorphosis on the method of thinking of other people. They want to attune, align with the laws of nature.
Okay. So it's an experiment that we need to do and see how we can implement that.
Yeah, like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in other people. So you must use the word enforce wisdom in the way that you think. Wisdom that is about inevitability and many more in the breath and meditation workshop.
Okay. Next question, Vinodji. You mentioned in your last video about a range. Venkat Naranji is asking, Vinodji mentions that one must be prepared for the entire range.
Yes.
What are the extremes of this range? What is the extreme of the set?
Yeah, well, it's a large spectrum. You may use the word infinity. So it's a large spectrum. But what is your evolution? What is the method that one has to evolve? Through exposure to various colors, varieties, diversities of the large spectrum. So expand your range through doing repeatedly breathing techniques, and also the wisdom of the mind and leading to meditations, and enforce the wisdom of the mind, which is articulated and delivered in this special program of breath and meditation workshop. There is much content in that, and one has to discover it and enforce it into the way that you think. So the range is vast, spectrum is vast, colors are big, and it's very diverse, and lot of varieties to experiment. Objective is evolution.
Super. Next question.
Please.
Raji Swaminathan ji is asking, we experience unset only when we are thrown into a situation like the Miami building collapse example. Like we need to nourish both halves of the brain, right and left. Do you recommend a 50-50 set/unset dimension?
Well, this is a very intelligent question, and they have used a ratio. Well, the creation works on reciprocation. So if you open up this dimension to reciprocation, and then want to calibrate the proportion of how much of unset and how much of set is woven into each other, then one has to do experiment, and one has to expose themselves to experimentation. You have to invest time, and you have to invest your initiative. You must have you must be eager. Are you curious to know about it? So do you have interest? Then all this matter. How intimate is your question? How intense do you really want to know the proportion of how much of set and how much of unset is driving your program, driving your event, driving your situation? And so do the research, and you do your research, and you will find out your own ratio and proportion. Yes, it is not 50-50, by the way.
So next is yo. All this sounds cool, but a metal becomes malleable and ductile after being heated, beaten, and taken to edge of absolute breakdown. We supposed to subject ourselves to that. Who is going to ensure that we only reach the edge of breakdown and don't actually disintegrate into spiral of self-loathing and depression?
Who? And well, who is going to give you the safety net? That's your question. You would like to subject yourself to wisdom, but who is going to give a safety net? Well, for me, the safety net was discovery of Guru, and Guru element is essential. And when a Guru element is holding your hand tight, then where is the room for your doubts, confusion, and fear?
On this topic, there is another question from Arka Das. What is the importance of Guru, and when did you find your one?
Well, really you cannot find a Guru or experience a Guru totally, but the search and the eagerness and the indulgence to discover the Guru is what keeps people going, because the Guru itself is too large for anyone to understand totally. So parts of the Guru is how much more and more you indulge into the wisdom of the mind. To that effect, the safety net will be revealed to the person who is searching. So make your search intense, get intimate to that portion of the Guru, and then discover the safety net.
And second part of the question was, when did you find your one, and how was that?
Yeah. So I'm still indulgent to discover more of the Guru and more of the Guru. I don't think I'll arrive at ever to discover a completeness of the divinity, completeness and the the totality and the absoluteness of the divinity, because I too have some reservations that I am unable to cross over. So I am in the same boat as you are. But then, if your question is what date did I meet His Holiness Puja Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, that was in November 1991
And how was it?
in Bangalore city,
Like how the occasion happened?
in a public program, and His Holiness Puja Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji Gurudev was the keynote speaker.
And you were doing what that time?
I was listening to him.
No, like in your
I
life.
came to listen to him.
In your life?
In my life, my God, my life is too colorful. It's too diverse, too much variety, and a lot of people will be either surprised or surely shocked to know how much exposure I've done in this, done before I met Gurudev also.
So he came in the public program then?
Yes.
Then what happened?
Then immediately I took the straight line, like a bird moves from the coconut tree to mango tree. It does not take twists and turns. It flies direct and straight. So I did not justify the other excuses. Instead, I just justified to the excuses why I move with a straight line, because that's what I wanted to procure. I wanted to acquire that
Do
wisdom.
you remember what did he
That
say?
wisdom. So I just took the brochure and immediately I crossed over all the border, barriers, boundaries, restrictions, and I just flew directly the straight line like a bird's line into the program of,
for the program after the-
breath and meditation workshop.
Do you remember what did he say?
Well, I did the program under other art of living trainers.
No. When Gurudev came in the event, do you remember what did he say?
Not much. He certainly said a lot with his silence.
Oh, okay. Would you like to elaborate?
How can I elaborate silence?
Okay, I'll go to the next question. Visibility of Vinodji's inspiration. As usual, here is fresh and new. What about the next part and next part? We'll keep doing it. I hope. This was question by Anand. Shreya is asking how to prioritize among multiple issues which is happening at the same time.
Well, this prioritizing is something that comes on the other side of people having priority. I'm a fan of inevitability. But then, about 5 days back, His Holiness Puja Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, in a panel discussion with the Maharashtra education system, he did mention the word called multiple engagement. Now that has caught my new appeal. Now I'm going to discuss multiple engagement, where I've heard of multitasking, but this multiple engagement is something I've heard for the first time. So how do you engage in multiple things at the same time? So this is something I'm searching the answer. Once I get it, I will reveal to you.
Rajesh Jagasia is asking, is it possible to make the unset as set?
Rajesh Jagasya ji, I know you are a senior trainer, so maybe he has very deep questions. So I'll pass it this time. I will give some time for that question alone.
Okay. So there is a series
Many of those people are all senior, very senior people. So their questions are very deep.
So next time, so maybe Rajesh Jagasia's question next time.
Many more
Many
senior. Most of the questions are from senior people. So
So should I take the next question?
yeah, you can ask one more question.
Thanks. Now there are three questions from the same person.
Okay, then let's
So,
do one of them or two of them.
Arka Das is asking, thanks a ton for inviting Vinodji here. I would love to hear from him more and more. 3 questions from my side which have been bugging me for quite some time. I'll ask all 3. You can answer all 3 in one go. First is, my situation demands me to be more compassionate, but sometimes people use my compassion into their favor and sometimes I fail to deal situations with compassion. How can I find a balance? Second question. Should I ask because should I ask the second question or you want to answer this first?
You are the director.
Yeah, I think the second is not
You
very
direct,
related.
I obey.
Okay, so second question is, how can I stop my goals to be a desire? Sometimes goals are bringing expectations inside me, engulfing me into desire. Third is, how to be more aware of emotional turbulence and keep it under control.
Well, all of them are in one dimension. So the other dimension is continue your breathing techniques and continue meditation. Then you'll get closer and closer to the source of these questions. So about your transaction. In transaction, either you end up being shortchanged, or you end up shortchanging another person, another people. You got to understand what is sympathy and what is empathy. And with sympathy, be little calculative. With empathy, be open. So be open from calculation. So understand these two words, articulate it, and go to the depths of where you are sympathizing or where you are expecting sympathy. Know whether it is having a calculation about it, and see the restrictions of empathy in you or in another person, and know whether you are totally open to empathy. That's question number 1. Question number 2, can you give me a hint?
So first was compassion. Second was how to stop my goals from becoming desires.
Yeah, well, goals also begin as a desire, want, wish, necessity, need. So you need to articulate it more intensely, study it, write down 5 sentences under need, under desire, under want, under wish, under hope, under necessity, under need, under what is anyway going on around you inevitably. So you can segregate it, categorize it, classify it, sort it, and then discover that what is your target and that what is your goal. Once you have reached the goal, understand you need short-term goal, immediate result, urgency of goals, middle-term goals which can wait but is important, long-term goals, maybe after 5 years where you want to reach, and then set. It's a long walk, no doubt. Have the vision on the long walk, but know that you need to take little steps, baby steps, break it down to small tiny steps, and incrementally every day move forward to progress towards your goal, but always having the vision that it's a very long walk. So enjoy your walk and take sure and correct steps forward.
Last question was from him was emotional turbulence, keeping it under control.
Emotion need not be turbulent, and you really cannot control it. What you need is emotional intelligence. Certain things are driven by emotions. Certain emotions give you depth, makes your appearance, make your transaction softer. It is a curator. It brings you finishes, and used intelligently, you can transact better. You can also have the emotional intelligence to understand what the other person is attempting to tell you, because not every emotion has words attached to it. So many times people go through severe emotions, and are you free and open to discover them for other people? Do you have interest in other people? And sometimes you have your own emotion which you are not able to express adequately, that the other person starts sensing what is accurate, precise, specific emotion that you want to express. So get to emotional intelligence. When you do your pranayama every day, various kinds of breathing techniques and various kinds of meditation, and be aware of how this surge and urge of emotion is beginning in you, then you have better equipped to give it a direction and find a meaning in your emotion, and give it a direction, and get a purpose of your emotion.